Since I finished Space Base and started university, I haven't really had a game dev project to work on, and when I think of any ideas I have to make a game, I don't really come up with anything. As well as that, when I think about what I want my next project to do, the main thing is just be a bit better success-wise than Space Base, because let's face it, it didn't do amazing. So I figured, with my last video, I could knock two birds out with one stone, and after talking to a few of my friends, I've decided to look at one of my old projects again. Not only that, but to circumvent the problem of having no marketing and having no audience, I'll just do one that already has an audience. So over the last week, I've began revamping and restarting FNAF Manager, and I'm going to show you what I've done so far. For starters, as this is kind of like a Devlog 0, I want to go over what I used to have in the game. So we had essentially a pre-made pizzeria that you could buy rooms of, and you could walk around it, buy pre-made assets, place some assets where you wanted, some were pre-placed, and animatronics would walk around each hallway in a set path every night. It was very... The one issue I had with it was that it was very scripted, let's be honest. And that's the one thing I've been trying to fix with this new version of the project. When I think a build your own level game, the last thing you want it to feel like is that you have to do the same thing every time. So I've spent essentially this last week building the groundworks for as customizable of a thing as possible. For starters, I hated the fact that the rooms were pre-made. I wanted to make sure I had a system where I could make whatever room sizes and shapes in whatever configuration I wanted, and that's the first thing I did. And considering it's something I've never really done before, it actually went quite smoothly. Essentially, you have a grid of tiles, which I'm probably going to expand. I'm not sure how big scale this game's going to be. And you can click on tiles, you can create rooms, then you can enter the room if you want to expand it or demolish it. And as well as that, you can create doorways between rooms or to the outside, because there's an outside in this game as well. And immediately this feels more customizable even without all of the items and decorations. Because honest to God, I did not know what I was going to do room-wise, because I was thinking, okay, if I were playing this, I would make this room a pizzeria, this room an office, this room a kitchen, this room a Pirate's Cove or whatever. And I needed to not think what I would do and think what I could let people do. One thing that's not really changed much from the previous game is the object placing so far. Right now, each room has a 5x5 grid of tiles. You can pick an object to place and place it. I've only got a few placeholders in right now, but it's set up to where I can very easily add whatever items I want in the future. And the last major groundwork I've got done so far is pathfinding. One of the big things I've been looking into a lot more with my past projects and like more recent things that I've messed about with and not really gone anywhere with is UI or AI pathfinding even. So essentially now each placement tile, each grid tile outside is a pathfinding, so no matter where a staff bot or customer or maybe an animatronic at night is, they will be able to go anywhere else from the fastest point possible, and it's made in a way to where I can restrict areas, so there might be a staff only hallway, or there might be a wall of objects blocking a hallway off and you have to redirect. And it's built in a way to make sure everything works and it will be fluid going forward, because that's kind of what I've wanted to do. I've wanted to have a groundwork built to build off of as I go forward. And as of covering all of this in a Devlog 0 kind of thing, I don't have much more to cover except for the going forward. For the next few days, I'm going to get a couple more object items in, so I want each thing to have essentially properties. So something could be next to a table, something could be an arcade game, something could be a seat, something could need a staff member to operate. Things like that, to where essentially customers, staff, animatronics, you can know where objects that they're looking for are. So let's say you have a customer and they want to sit and eat their pizza. Instead of just going to an object and saying, yep, this will do, I will sit right here on top of this arcade cabinet, they will look over all of the objects only take the ones that can be sat on. Then they will look at them, see what's the quality of this object, how clean is it, and finally they'll see how far away is it, and they'll get a score of how good the object is, and whatever the best object is for their preference, they'll go to. So it'll be the best possible tycoon-like pathfinding algorithm. Now obviously this has been a lot of tycoon talk. I haven't really talked about how FNAF-y this will be, and I'm going to go into more depth on that in the next devlog. But all I need you to know is that imagine every FNAF character with their own mechanic, and it's like really cool. Stay tuned for that.